Hey there, everybody. Just give me a few seconds. I promise this is just a few seconds of your time that I'm completely wasting by not being on camera. I hope you guys could hear all of that. I needed a drink. This video has three purposes. The first, as obvious by the title, is for me to talk to you guys about devil fruit related things. The second is an affirmation that I am alive and did not die of smoke inhalation after the events of my most recent, or I guess after this one, my second most recent video. The tertiary purpose is for me to share a bit of a discovery, which I'm going to go over now, so I don't have to worry about going over it later. I've been rewatching Steven Universe, and I got to season 5 and realized that okay, spoilers for Steven Universe, so I'm gonna keep my hands up as long as I'm spoiling and then put them down when I get to the fun shit. But basically what happens is in the episode of Steven Universe where Steven it's called No Way Back. It's the episode where Lapis is contemplating how she should, like, whether or not she should return to Earth with the crystal gems or go off to bumfuck nowhere. And it's a really nice psychological episode with some music. And the music is actually what I want to talk about because I just noticed something I never noticed before, which is that in the flashes that Steven gets during the episode, in his diamond dream during that episode, where he like sees the experiences of the diamonds, in that experience, when Pearl comes out of the shadows and comes up behind Pink Diamond and draws her sword, you can actually hear the like dial up tone, or not the dial up tone, it's like you hear the first few instrumental notes from what's the song called? Do It For Her, which is like a season 2 song during the point in time uh when Pearl is trying to teach Connie how to wield a sword. And I just thought that's really cool. All right. I'm done with Steven Universe ranting. And I've got a good 12 minutes to rant to you guys about devil fruits now. So let's get into it. Last one I went over in the last video was the clone fruit. Today we have the butter fruit, not to be confused with butter frogs. Those are in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs too, and they're also very comedic. The butter fruit, simple, effective. It allows you to create and manipulate butter. Why butter? Well, friendly reminder, all devil fruit powers stem from the wish of an ancient person who lived millions of years ago, and their greatest wish was to have the abilities granted by their devil fruit. So apparently someone really liked butter back then. That is number 129 on the list. It got a 4 out of 10 in combat, 5 in utility, 7 in potential, and a 9 in detriments for our next 26 out of 40. Or, no, that's the wrong stats. It got a 4 in combat, 5 in utility, 7 in, in potential, and a 10 in detriments, which I mixed up with the next fruit that has nearly identical stats, but with a slight difference. Uh, yeah, speaking of that next fruit, we have the rust fruit, number 128. Simple, effective, it allows the user the ability to rust metals on contact. Uh, what kind of metals can it rust? Unknown. It rusted swords into basically disintegrating. To my knowledge, it only works on metal, but there was like a scene of questionable canonicity in the anime where the guy straight up uses it to rust one of the characters' like bones or skin or something, which I don't know how they would do that. I don't think there's a high enough iron concentration in a person's body to be able to rust their joints. But regardless of that, this thing got a 5 out of 10 in combat, 5 in utility, 7 in potential, and a 9 in detriments for another 26 out of 40. Next up, we have the berry fruit, a fruit that debuted alongside the rust fruit, actually, so this is a bit appropriate. Our 128th spot has 127th. Our 127th spot has the ability to turn his body into orbs, spheres, basically. Just any part of his body he can separate into spheres. It's similar to another fruit, which I don't think we've gone over yet, called the chop fruit. But whereas the chop fruit allows you immunity from slashing attacks by allowing you to chop off any part of your body, the berry fruit allows you basically immunity from blunt force attacks, because any part of your body that, like, I don't know, gets punched, you can just make it a sphere and it'll bounce around. This fruit got a 5 in combat, 6 in utility, 8 in potential, and a 7 in detriments, mainly because of the connotations of splitting your body into balls. Anyway, aside from those, next up we have the Spinosaurus fruit, numbered 126. You might be wondering why it's so low on the list. And honestly, that is just how the cookie crumbles. It got a. Well, what does it do? It turns you into a Spinosaurus. What do you think it does? It's. Several of these are self explanatory. I shouldn't need to be explaining the ones that are self explanatory. Regardless of self explaining, explanatory selfing, this still fruit got a 7 in combat, 7 in utility, 4 in potential, and an 8 in detriments, mainly because being too big can be a problem. And that's another 26 out of 40. Seems like we might get to a 27 out of 40 soon, possibly in the next video, possibly in this video. Regardless of videos, I only have a certain amount of time left, and I'm going to use it responsibly. Going to the next devil fruit, number 125, the Onyudo fruit. Now, the Onyudo fruit is the human fruit model Onyudo, and from my understanding, which is very limited, the Onyudo fruit allows you to become an Onyudo, which I'm not totally sure on the specifics of, but I believe it's like just a sort of weapon hoarding Japanese spirit. I might be wrong about that. As a matter of fact, I'm probably wrong about that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to fact check myself right now. Okay, I fact checked myself, and Onyudo is a type of giant yokai or supernatural monster in Japanese folklore whose name translates to Big Monk. And apparently they can range in size from about 6'5" to the size of a mountain, and they sometimes appear as shadowy figures or shape-shifting animals like foxes and raccoon dogs. So that's fun. I would assume you just be able to transform into that and also gain a lot of its abilities. But regardless of that, its abilities, it got a 7 in combat, 4 in utility, 5 in potential, and a 10 in detriments. Uh, Next up, we got number 124, the Allosaurus fruit. Now, Allosaurus, it's a dinosaur. You transform into a dinosaur. I don't need to explain that further. This fruit got a 7 in combat, 5 in utility, 7 in potential, and a 7 in detriments for another 26 out of 40. Next up, we have the tone fruit. Now, the tone fruit is one that I personally like the vibe of. The tone fruit basically allows you to produce sounds that produce physical effects. So, like, oh, and you can turn your body into instruments. So, like, one of the things that the guy in the show does is he turns his arm into a flute, and as he plays, like, his flute arm, it can do, like, wide ranging attacks or, like, just various different effects, harmful, telekinetic, or some other third thing. It's a very arbitrary fruit, and as such, I don't really have a good way of explaining it thoroughly, so yeah, just watch the show, you'll see what it can do. Anyway, we have that scored an 8 out of 10 in combat, 3 in utility, 8 in potential, and 7 in detriments for another 26 out of 40. We are running short on time. Next up, we have the sparkle fruit. Now, the sparkle fruit, I believe, is the one that I got mixed up in terms of descriptions with the hornet fruit. The sparkle fruit allows you to turn your body into diamonds. Why is it called the sparkle fruit if it lets you turn your body into diamonds? I don't know, take that up with whoever invented the language of Japanese. Or, I guess more accurately, it would probably be the 3 languages of Japanese, because there's like 3 different writing languages, and I don't know. I tried taking Japanese on Duolingo, and it's it's a complex language. I mean, all languages are complex to people who don't natively speak them, but yeah, whatever. My point stands. The sparkle fruit basically just allows you to turn your body parts into diamonds. Unfortunately, you can never fully become diamond because, well, A, diamonds are basically unbreakable. B, anything that turns diamond cannot move. Thus, if you turn your entire body into diamonds, your brain isn't moving and it's not sending electrical signals, so you can't think and therefore cannot turn yourself back from diamonds. So you just turn yourself into a diamond statue. Anyway, this fruit got a 10 in combat, 3 in utility, 8 in uh I got an 8 in potential and a 5 in detriments for our last 26 out of 40. And I think I've got one more in me. We have next the swim fruit, a fruit that lets you swim in anything except water and air. You might be wondering what the use is to that, but honestly, I don't think I can tell you. I think if you're not smart enough to understand what that means, uh, you ever seen Jujutsu Kaisen? You know, Maharaga doing the front stroke up the side of a building? That. Except you're not causing mass destruction in your path. Swim Fruit is number 121 on our list, and it got a 5 out of 10 in combat, 8 out of 10 in utility, 4 in potential, and a 10 in detriments for our first official 27 out of 40 total score. That is all that I have time for. See you guys later. Thank you for watching my videos. Maybe watch some of my Warframe content if you haven't, or watch some of my ranting, raving, and flaming videos. If you like what you see here, subscribe to the channel. I could always use more help. And yeah, subscribe if you think dogs are cute, because if I get enough subscribers, maybe I'll make an entire video dedicated to my dog.